Hello, good morning. This is Valylight. I want to respond to a question that somebody sent. The person said I should talk about direct and indirect speech. Okay, now I'm not going to be making use of the blackboard, but whatever I say, if there is need, you are going to see it written on your screen. Now, the first one, when you talk about direct speech, what does it mean? Because the person said we should talk about the direct and the indirect speech. If you talk about direct speech, you are referring to that time when you are quoting somebody, when you are saying something that another person said, exactly the way the person said it. This is what you mean by direct speech. That this is just as it came from the person. This is what you see when you read some prose works. Those times you see a person's speech in quotes. When you see a person's speech closed in quotation marks, what it means is that that is a direct speech. Whatever you see there is exactly the way the person said it. This is what you mean by direct speech. That what you see here is just the way the person said it. Now, at times you listen to people, and while speaking, you hear somebody say, while I was with the minister, he said, and I quote. Now, whenever anybody you are talking with wants to say something, and you hear the person say, and I quote, it means that every other thing you are hearing now is exactly the way the person said it, word for word. Now, some people do not know this. And for that reason, when they say, and I quote, they end up presenting a reported speech. Now, whenever you're speaking and you say, and I quote, it means everything you're saying now is exactly the way the person you are quoting said it. Okay, so I have said that direct speech means that you are stating something exactly the way the person said it. The person you are quoting, this is just as the person said it. Take for instance that time when you hear something like, I will come, he said. In quotes, I will come, you have a comma, then he said. Meaning that his words were what the speaker presented them. I will come. This was the way he said it. In some situation, that he said will come before the quotation. You see something like, he said, I will come. If he said comes before it, in many cases, if that he said comes before the person spoke, you find out that after he said, you see the colon before you see what the person said. He said, I will come. Meaning that you stated exactly what the person said. That is about direct speech. If you talk about an indirect speech, also known as the reported speech, this means that you are saying what the person said actually, but you are not using the person's exact words. Maybe your own words have entered, but the meaning did not change. Now, it means you are now reporting it. The speech has been, do I use the word, has been altered. The speech has experienced some changes, not in the aspect of the meaning, but the words there are no longer the exact words of the original speaker, the originator of that speech. This is what we mean by an indirect speech. It is no longer as it came from the person who made that statement. You also refer to indirect speech as reported speech, meaning that this time around it is being reported. Now, in such a situation where you have something like, I will come, he said, you then hear somebody say, he said he would come. But remember that in the direct speech aspect of it, he says, I will come, meaning this is exactly what he said. He made use of I, the first person personal pronoun. But in reporting it, you no longer have to use that. You are now reporting the person. Therefore, what you have there, he said he would come. Now, there is something else that you have to know about direct and indirect speech. When you are changing expressions, sentences from the direct to the indirect speech, there are some things that you have to observe. If they are there, they have to change. Such things like will. If you come across will in a direct speech and you are changing it to an indirect speech, that will should change to would. That is why I will come, he said. We change to he said he would come. Will normally would change to would. Now, if you come across something like now will also change. If in the direct speech aspect of it, you have the word now. Take for instance, come here now. It's a direct speech. Come here now, she said. come here now, the principal commanded or the principal ordered. Now, if you want to change it to an indirect speech, that now will change to then. The principal ordered him to go there. Ordered him to go there. Then. Certain words will change. Now, it still means the same thing. Come here now, the principal said. And you are reporting it. The principal ordered him to go there. I don't know if you pick up something, you are still saying the same thing. The meaning did not change. Whoever you're talking to will understand what you're trying to say, but some words have changed because it is now being reported. Apart from now, any word like yesterday, if you come across a word like yesterday, it should also change. I gave him the money. I gave him the money yesterday. The armed robber confessed. Now, when you are changing it to an indirect speech, to a reported speech, what you have there, the armed robber confessed that he gave him the money the previous day. Yesterday would always change to the previous day or to the day before, depending on the one you want to use. But you cannot use yesterday when you are changing it to an indirect speech. Okay, if you have a word like last year, I was there last year, he explained. That last year there, we changed to the previous year. This is what will help make it a reported speech. He said, or rather, he explained that he was there the previous year. Tomorrow will also change to the following day or the next day. I will be with you tomorrow, he promised. This is direct speech. If you change it to indirect speech, he promised that he would be with me the following day. Tomorrow would always change to the following day. Can will also change to could. I can make you learn how to read. Now you want to change it to an indirect speech. He said, he assured that he could make him, or he assured that he could make me learn how to read. Can will change to could. These are the things that you have to know about direct and indirect speech. However, take note that there are exceptions. There are exceptions to this. I will just use one example. We said that tomorrow will change to the previous day. But in a situation, here you use your head. Common sense will tell you how to apply it. In a situation where somebody said, today is Monday. Okay, sorry, today is Wednesday, for instance. And I made a promise, or I happen to make a promise. I will give you the money tomorrow. I will give you the money tomorrow. Tomorrow is Thursday. Now, the person I spoke to wants to make this a reported speech. He or she is now talking to another person about what I said. But she is making this reported speech the same day that I said it. And that tomorrow that I used, which is Thursday, in my speech, will still be the same tomorrow because she's saying it the same day. If she's making that speech, if she's reporting it, she cannot say the following day. I don't know if you understand this. I will give you the money tomorrow. She's now telling another person. She cannot say, he said he would give me the money the following day. Because we are talking about the same day, she's still reporting that speech the same day. She will say, he promised or he said he will give me the money tomorrow. Will remember where it is. Tomorrow will remember where it is because that speech is made the same day. However, if it were to be in an examination, apply the first rules I gave you. Wherever you see tomorrow, change it. Wherever you see can, you change it, and the rest of them. But I just told you that in the practice of it, whenever you are talking about whenever the speech is being reported the same day that the direct speech was made, everything should remain the same. Thank you so much. If there are other questions, keep them coming. And please, I would also like to add, if you send a question and I didn't attempt to read as quickly as you think I would, please, that doesn't mean that I am ignoring you. Actually, I see all the questions, but there are just too many questions. You can imagine the number of questions that somebody who has up to 10,000 followers on this page, imagine the number of questions I get in a day. There are some that I would have to reply using there on the text, through the text. There are some that I will have to reply using voice notes. There are some when I would have to call. Now, I take them one after the other. I receive over 100 messages containing questions every day. So try to bear with me. I am going to be taking them one after the other. This is Valylight, and I appreciate you being there. Thank you so much.